Welcome to another edition of GVL TV, proudly sponsored by Gagliardi Scott. Great people, great results. Tonight, we're at Echuca Football Netball Club at Victoria Park, and I'm joined with what I consider an absolute legend of the game, Vince Jessen. How are you tonight, Vince?
Good, thanks, Mark.
That's sweet. Now, a long journey over a long period of time.
Yes.
70-odd years old.
71 last Thursday.
Happy birthday for last Thursday.
Thank you.
Tell us a little about your history. I know you're a trainer with the club, but I want to go right back to when you first started with the South Melbourne Sydney Swans.
I started back in 1968 as a 21-year-old. I got a job there, I applied for it, and I was there till 1988, and I moved up to Echuca in 88, and I've been here ever since. So that's, 50 years of rubbing down and taping, mate.
That is an incredible story, and like I said earlier when we were talking off screen, what I consider true legends of country football, or football in general, not just country footy. Some of you, maybe some of your best players that when you're at South Melbourne in those days, who are some of the greats that you would have had anything to do with?
Well, probably one of the greats was Bobby Skilton, and then all the Brownlow medals that I looked after was Barry Round, Gerard Healy, Greg Williams, Gerard Healy, Peter Bedford, of course, he was a great player. Yeah. But one of the best players, it was a bit underrated, was a player called Stuart Gull. Yeah. Played full forward. Would average 4 or 5 goals a game, big, strong guy. Yeah. Knew a bit about boxing, so he could protect himself a bit. When he played against Big Ray Biffin, played with Melbourne, he used to give him a biff and he'd give him back one. But Peter Bedford was a great player. And then later on in the years, Greg Williams, of course, and Barry Round was one of the best too as well. But there's heaps of them, But I'd say the best one would be Bobby Skilton.
Yeah, excellent. Let's go back to the days when South Melbourne, Albert Park Lake, you moved to Sydney under the Dr. Edelson days.
That's right, yeah.
What were they like?
They were very unusual. We went up there with nothing. We struggled. We had no really ground to train on. We had no gymnasium, no system. The AFL sent us up there on our own, basically, because back then there was sort of no Sydney football, basically. And then Dr. Edelson came in and sort of bought the club, and he sort of built a gymnasium. He had a ground with rooms and everything for us. So he started the program where we started to learn and got players in that could train and do gym work. So he was a great help for the club. He really was. And he didn't mess around with the football. He kept well away from it, but he was just there on the side. But he was excellent,
So in the sense of games, were you playing games up there by then, or was it still that transition from South Melbourne to Sydney Swans?
No, we were playing games up there before Edelson took over, and we struggled. Players weren't fit and all that sort of thing. And then once he took over, we got this program going, and it got better as it went along. And then I had to try and find the coaches that wanted to go up there and coach, which was pretty hard at times because no one wanted to go up there and coach a team that was going nowhere at the time. Yeah. But, then it sort of started to turn around. I think it turned around when Ron Brassey went up there. Yeah. And he got these young blokes and he said, you can't play footy, but I'm going to show you and teach you how to play. And he changed it around a bit.
So in saying that, you just mentioned a great name, Ron Brassey.
Yes.
So you must have had some great coaches through the journey as well. Maybe tell us a couple of names.
Well, John Northey, he was all right. Rodney E was good. We had Ricky Quaid, he was the one who first started up there. He was great. I think he got crucified because he was the one who took all the pressure.
The chopping block,
Tom Hafey was good. He was very, very good the last few years I was up there. We had a couple of coaches that weren't much good. Buchanara was one. I shouldn't be saying it. He's probably watching this. But there's another one from South Australia. I can't remember his name. He only lasted 1 year. But we struggle with coaches for that reason because I do want to travel up to Sydney.
Hard times. All right, so you've left the limelight, I suppose, of AFL, VFL, AFL football. Journey all the way down to the Port of Echuca.
Yes.
Been here for 30-odd years.
Yes.
So maybe the difference and the experiences coming to Echuca.
Well, in the first year here, I was sort of... It was different, you with AFL, and you're thinking, gee whiz, this is coming down a lot, But I've learned, since I've been here watching country footy, especially GV, there's some great talent in the footy world up here. And all right, they're not professional, but they can play.
Yep.
And now I think it's got better in the last probably 8, 9, probably 10 years with the development squads and the pioneers and the bush rangers and all that. The younger ones are being looked after now.
Yep.
And I think it's great football. In fact, I prefer to come and watch good country footy than to sit at home and watch the Sydney Swans.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but I feel it's good up here. It really is great, you know, not just at Echuca, but all around the Goulburn Valley. And in the other leagues, well, they're probably a little bit behind GV, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the best country footy in Victoria.
Excellent. Great to hear that, GVL football. That's excellent.
Yeah,
So I know, Vinny, I know you've, like I said, 71, been trainer for 50-odd years. You look after the interleague team. You look after, I know, the AFL Golden Murray Academy.
Yes.
You're helping out there. You do the under-16s.
Yes.
So how do you see your wife at all?
From 9 o'clock at night till about 5 in the morning. That's about the time I see her.
Okay.
She comes down to the football club too. She helps down here at home games and everything. So, she understands that I love my footy and that's what it's all about. And then occasionally, if I get a free weekend, I might go down and watch the Swans play Geelong because she's a Geelong supporter. But no, she understands. And then over the summer period, we entertain our friends and families and all that sort of stuff. So we get time together. But no, it's great. It's great, yeah.
Excellent.
I think I'd be lost without it, actually.
Yeah, good. It was always behind every good man, there's a great woman.
That's exactly right.
Okay, good. Look, this is where we get to the fun part of the evening.
Here we go.
We got and this is a chance to play out and a few of your club mates and things like that. So, the Fast 10. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right. The biggest pretty boy in your team.
Will Manane.
Who goes overboard with a strapping and tape every week? You should know this one.
Kane Morris.
Kane Morris, okay, good. We'll have to talk to Kane a bit later on and find out about that one. Who secretly loves Married with First Sight or The Bachelor?
Willis.
Who has the weirdest pre-game ritual?
Willis.
Who's the biggest softie at the club?
I'll say Jordan Frew. There you go.
Okay,
yeah, he's a bit of a
give
softie.
Give Jordan a mention, good.
Yeah.
Who's the sorest loser?
Buckley.
Who exaggerates the stories the most?
Kane Morris.
Okay, he's got on again. Who's the worst white line fever?
Will probably be our property steward, Alan Gannon.
Okay. What about the worst tattoo? Who has the worst tattoo in the club?
Willis again.
Okay. Who should go on Farmer Wants a Wife next year?
Probably Nick McCann.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks very much for joining us with GVL TV. We're here at Victoria Park in Echuca with a superstar, a legend of the game and the sport. We love what you've done. So very thankful for you joining us tonight, Vince. Once again, if you can get on YouTube, watch the shows. If you like us, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.